My beloved child. There is something unfolding behind the scenes that you may not have expected. Something quiet. Something meaningful. Something that has been growing in the hearts and minds of people connected to your soulmate. Do not skip this message. Stay till the end, because something huge is waiting for you. You may believe that only your soulmate thinks about you. You may believe that the story is only between two hearts. But there are moments when a person's presence becomes so powerful that it reaches beyond one individual. It reaches families. It reaches conversations. It reaches homes. And today, there is a message about what your soulmate's family truly thinks about you. The surprising part is not that they have talked about you. The surprising part is how often your name has appeared when you were not even there. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. There have been quiet moments when someone in that family paused and wondered about the person who managed to leave such a strong impression on someone they care about. At first, the curiosity was small. It was nothing more than a simple question. But over time, that curiosity grew into something much larger. Because they began noticing changes. They noticed smiles that appeared unexpectedly. They noticed moments of hope. They noticed conversations that carried a different energy. And naturally, they began asking themselves a question. Who is this person? What makes this even more surprising is that the answers they discovered were not what they expected. Many people assume that families judge quickly. Many people assume that families focus on flaws. Many people assume that acceptance is difficult. But this message reveals something very different. There are people within your soulmate's family who see qualities in you that you may not even recognize in yourself. Think about that for a moment. While you have been questioning yourself, someone else has been noticing your strength. While you have been doubting your value, someone else has been admiring your character. While you have been wondering whether you are enough, someone else has been quietly saying that you are far more remarkable than you realize. Do not skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. One conversation led to another. One opinion led to another. And slowly, a picture of you began forming in their minds. Not a picture based on perfection. Not a picture based on appearances. But a picture based on energy. Based on presence. Based on the way you make others feel. That is what surprised them most. Because genuine people are rare. People who remain kind when nobody is watching are rare. People who remain true to themselves are rare. And whether you realize it or not, those qualities have been noticed. There is someone among your soulmate's family who has defended your name during moments of uncertainty. There is someone who has spoken positively about you when nobody expected them to. There is someone who believes there is much more to your story than what can be seen on the surface. And that support has been growing. Slowly. Quietly. Powerfully. Now listen carefully, because this next part is important. The biggest surprise is not what they think about you today. The biggest surprise is how their perspective changed. At one point, they may have known very little about you. At one point, they may have had questions. At one point, They may have wondered whether you were truly the person they imagined. But every new piece of information shifted something. Every conversation revealed another layer. Every story painted a clearer picture. And what they found was not someone ordinary. What they found was someone memorable. Someone who left an impression. Someone who could not simply be forgotten. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Because there is another layer to this message. There are thoughts that have not been spoken openly. Thoughts that remain behind closed doors. Thoughts that continue returning again and again. Those thoughts revolve around possibility. Possibility creates powerful conversations. Possibility makes people imagine future chapters before they arrive. Possibility makes people wonder where a story might lead. And right now, possibility is stronger than you think. There are individuals who see potential where others once saw uncertainty. There are individuals who see light where others once saw questions. There are individuals who believe that some connections appear for a reason. What makes this so powerful is that these thoughts developed naturally. Nobody forced them. Nobody planned them. Nobody expected them. Yet they appeared anyway. That is why this message matters. Because sometimes the most meaningful opinions are formed quietly. Not through grand announcements. Not through dramatic moments. But through observation. Through consistency. Through character. And through the impact a person leaves behind. You may not see the effect you have on people. You may not realize how your actions are remembered. You may not understand how far your influence reaches. But others see it. Others notice it. Others remember it. And that includes people connected to your soulmate. Do not skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. There is a realization happening. A realization that goes beyond first impressions. A realization that goes beyond assumptions. A realization that goes beyond expectations. It is the realization that your story carries more significance than many originally believed. And that realization is creating a shift. A shift in perspective. A shift in understanding. A shift that continues growing stronger. The fascinating part is that you may never hear many of these conversations directly. You may never know every detail. You may never hear every supportive word. But that does not mean they were never spoken. Because some of the most important conversations happen when nobody is listening. And some of the most meaningful opinions are formed when nobody is trying to impress anyone. That is why this message is so important today. Because what your soulmate's family thinks about you may truly surprise you. Not because it is dramatic. Not because it is shocking. But because it is deeper than you expected. It is built on observation. It is built on respect. It is built on recognition. And it is continuing to grow. As this message comes to a close, remember this. Never underestimate the impact of being genuine. Never underestimate the power of staying true to yourself. Never underestimate how far your presence can travel into the hearts and minds of others. Because sometimes people are speaking positively about you in rooms you have never entered. Sometimes people are appreciating qualities you do not even notice in yourself. And sometimes, the story unfolding behind the scenes is far brighter than you imagine. Stay till the end of this journey. Do not skip what comes next. Because something huge is waiting for you, and this is only the beginning. A remarkable truth is beginning to emerge, and what comes next may be the most surprising part of this entire message. Do not skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. There are moments in life when people begin to see someone differently. Not because that person changed overnight, but because the truth about who they are slowly becomes impossible to ignore. That is exactly what has been happening. The conversations within your soulmate's family have continued, but something unexpected has happened. The questions that once existed have slowly been replaced by admiration. The uncertainty that once lingered has slowly been replaced by understanding. And the more they learn, the more they realize that there is something special about you. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. There is someone in that family who remembers every positive thing they have heard about you. Every kind word. Every encouraging story. Every moment that revealed your character. They may never tell you this directly, but your name has become associated with qualities that are becoming difficult to overlook. Think about that. While you were focused on your own journey, people behind the scenes were paying attention. While you were handling your own challenges, people were quietly noticing your resilience. While you were simply being yourself, others were forming opinions that became stronger with time. Do not skip. Because the next revelation is powerful. There was a moment when someone asked a question about you. It seemed like a simple question at first. But the answers that followed changed the entire conversation. Instead of hearing criticism, they heard respect. Instead of hearing doubt, they heard confidence. Instead of hearing reasons to worry, they heard reasons to believe. And that conversation created a ripple effect. One person shared an observation. Another person added their own perspective. Then another voice joined in. Slowly, a picture began to form. A picture of someone who leaves a lasting impression wherever they go. A picture of someone whose presence carries meaning. A picture of someone whose value is becoming clearer every day. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. The most fascinating part is that these opinions were not created through grand gestures. They were created through consistency. People notice consistency. People notice integrity. People notice authenticity. And those qualities have a way of speaking louder than words. There are individuals within your soulmate's family who have reached a realization. They have realized that your impact goes deeper than appearances. They have realized that your influence extends further than they originally imagined. That realization has changed everything. What once seemed uncertain now feels different. What once seemed distant now feels closer. What once seemed like a possibility now feels increasingly real. Do not skip. Because there is another layer to this story. There have been moments when your soulmate spoke about you in ways that revealed more than they intended. Moments when excitement appeared unexpectedly. Moments when admiration became impossible to hide. Moments when genuine appreciation could be felt by everyone listening. Those moments did not go unnoticed. In fact, they became some of the strongest reasons people started paying attention. When someone consistently speaks positively about another person, others naturally become curious. They begin wondering what makes that individual so memorable. And when they looked closer, they found answers. They discovered kindness. They discovered strength. They discovered determination. They discovered qualities that are becoming increasingly difficult to ignore. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. There is a growing sense that your story carries significance. Not because of luck. Not because of coincidence. But because genuine connections create lasting impressions. And impressions become conversations. Conversations become opinions. Opinions become beliefs. And beliefs have the power to shape the future. Right now, there are people who see potential where they once saw questions. There are people who see possibility where they once saw uncertainty. There are people who believe that your role in this story may be much greater than anyone expected. That is why this message is so important. Because sometimes the biggest shifts happen quietly. Sometimes the strongest support develops behind closed doors. Sometimes the most meaningful approval grows without any announcement at all. And that is exactly what appears to be happening. Do not skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. There is a feeling that continues appearing in these conversations. It is a feeling of respect. Respect cannot be forced. Respect cannot be demanded. Respect must be earned. And when respect begins growing naturally, it becomes one of the strongest foundations any relationship can have. That respect is becoming part of the story. The remarkable thing is that many of these people may never fully explain why they feel this way. They simply know that something about you stands out. Something about your energy. Something about your character. Something about your presence. And that feeling continues growing stronger. As we move closer to the next part of this message, remember this. Not every important conversation happens in front of you. Not every meaningful opinion is spoken directly to you. Not every positive thought finds its way back to your ears. But that does not make those thoughts any less real. Because right now, behind the scenes, perspectives are shifting. Understanding is growing. Respect is deepening. And the story is moving toward a chapter that very few people expected. Do not skip. Stay till the end. Because something huge is waiting for you, and the next part reveals even more. A turning point is approaching in this story, and what you are about to hear may be the most unexpected revelation yet. Do not skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. There comes a moment when people stop asking who someone is and start asking what role they may play in the future. That moment is important. That moment changes everything. And according to this message, that shift has already begun. For a long time, your soulmate's family may have been observing quietly. They listened. They watched. They paid attention to details that most people overlook. They noticed patterns. They noticed consistency. They noticed the way your name continued appearing in conversations. And eventually, a realization started forming. You were not just another passing topic. You became someone worth remembering. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. The surprising part is that some of the strongest opinions were not formed during major moments. They were formed during ordinary conversations. Simple discussions. Casual remarks. Everyday observations. Someone mentioned your kindness. Someone mentioned your determination. Someone mentioned your positive influence. And with every conversation, the image they had of you became stronger. That image was not built in a day. It was built piece by piece. Word by word. Moment by moment. And now it has become something difficult to ignore. Do not skip. Because this next part is powerful. There are people within that family who have begun seeing something beyond the present moment. They have started imagining possibilities. Not because anyone forced them to. Not because anyone asked them to. But because some stories naturally inspire curiosity about what comes next. And when people begin thinking about what comes next, it means something has changed. It means they no longer see you as a distant idea. They see you as someone real. Someone important. Someone whose presence has meaning. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. What makes this revelation so remarkable is that many of these thoughts developed naturally. Nobody sat down and planned them. Nobody created them intentionally. They simply appeared because of the impact you have made. That impact is larger than you realize. Sometimes we underestimate the influence we have on others. Sometimes we assume people forget. Sometimes we assume our efforts go unnoticed. But they do not. People notice more than they say. People remember more than they reveal. And people often form opinions long before they ever speak them aloud. That is exactly why this message matters. Because the respect that has been building continues to grow. The understanding continues to deepen. The appreciation continues to expand. And all of it points towards something significant. Do not skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. There is one particular realization that keeps appearing. It is the realization that genuine character stands out. In a world where many people try to impress others, genuine character always shines brighter. And according to this message, that is exactly what has captured attention. Your actions have spoken. Your consistency has spoken. Your energy has spoken. Even when you were unaware of it. Even when nobody told you. Even when it seemed like nothing was happening. Something was happening. Opinions were forming. Perspectives were changing. Respect was growing. And now those changes are becoming impossible to ignore. The most fascinating part is that some individuals within your soulmate's family have begun defending your name even when you are not present. Think about that. When your name appears in conversation, positive words often follow. When your story is mentioned, curiosity often follows. When your future is discussed, possibility often follows. That is not ordinary. That is meaningful. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Because there is another layer to this message. There are people who once believed they understood the entire situation. But as time passed, they realized there was much more to the story than they first imagined. They realized there were qualities hidden beneath the surface. They realized there were strengths they had not fully recognized. They realized there was a depth to your character that deserved attention. And those realizations changed everything. Now, instead of looking at the past, many are looking toward the future. Instead of focusing on uncertainty, they are focusing on possibility. Instead of asking questions, they are beginning to see answers. Do not skip. Because this next revelation may be the most important one so far. The energy surrounding these conversations is changing. There is more confidence, more understanding, more belief. And with every passing day, that feeling becomes stronger. Some stories fade with time. But this story has done the opposite. It has become more significant, more memorable, more impossible to ignore. That is why this message continues appearing. Because there is something unfolding that deserves attention. There is something developing behind the scenes. There is something growing quietly, steadily, and powerfully. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. As this chapter comes to a close, remember one thing. You do not always see the seeds you plant in the hearts of others. You do not always hear the positive words spoken about you. You do not always know how deeply your presence affects people. But that does not mean those things are not happening. Because right now, there are conversations continuing. There are perspectives shifting. There are opinions becoming stronger. And there are people who see more value in you than you may currently see in yourself. The story is not over. The biggest revelation has not arrived yet. And what comes next may explain why everything has been unfolding exactly as it has. Do not skip. Stay till the end. Because something huge is waiting for you, and the next chapter reveals the most powerful truth of all.